Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you have been following me right now, I've been basically talking about the mental health awareness series at the moment on my playlist right now, which has covered basically the main topics, which is OCD, eating disorders, depression, suicide, and the like. So therefore, I'm also hopefully going to bring out now the borderline personality disorder series, and maybe just if I don't get them done, like I said, in the meantime of the piece that I said about 2 weeks, I'll hopefully just collab it anyway and put it together so it's pretty done, dusted, hopefully for you all to see me hopefully introducing this series. So without further ado, basically in those series that I covered so far, of those main topics that I want to address of this health and awareness, to create that awareness and understanding that we need to be in mind that, you know, it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to just basically, you know, hopefully make sure that we know the warning signs as well of the ones that are suffering from certain mental health disorders, because without the right help and support, you know, as we know, we can just get into the whirlwind of not being able to be in control of ourselves or even others around us, you know. And sometimes it's best to also look after out for number one, which is ourselves, before we can actually continue our endeavours to look after our loved one or whoever that may be suffering from that mental health disorder. So therefore, when I did these series, basically I did the main questions of what they are, the definition of it, basically the types of, you know, the type of mental health disorders they are, the characteristics behind it all, the causes and triggers basically of it all, as well as some of them had our dear letter series to some of those mental health disorders, as well as basically some other bits and pieces which were like basically the warning signs, what to know about it, and, you know, just a heads up of basically loving someone with a mental health disorder of any kind, even though, like I said, just bear in mind now that with these treatment and therapies and all these other advice and tips along the way, I may not be any medical doctor or what have you. I have experienced some of these symptoms that I've shared with you all based on the mental health disorder spectrum of it all, because as I said before, with my condition of Asperger's syndrome, however, it does run its course basically of other conditions under it, be it anxiety and the like that I've shared earlier in the piece of my channels, if you've been following me right through the very beginning when I started. So without further ado though, I hope you guys are enjoying my video series, and I'm hoping that you may be learning something along the way, and I humbly apologise that, you know, if some of these terms ain't to your tea, just give me a comment below or what have you, just to tie home my medical, you know, knowledge or my medical terminology that I know that's basically, you know, and the know-how. So if I do end up speaking too technical, as people call me, then just let me know, and then hopefully, like, if you follow me through, I might be able to hopefully maybe send you guys a reference link below if I need to with some of these pieces, if you want to know more information, or just question me on anything, or even just, you know, as I said, feel free to message me on Facebook. AspieAnswersAll is my private page where I post most of my videos up there at the moment, for the ones that doesn't have a YouTube channel. Enough jabbering. So as I said, basically the last piece hopefully is the ones based on borderline personality disorder, or BPD clinically shortened down to, even though I can't guarantee it's going to be, you know, the last one, because as we know, there's so many mental health disorders out there, and that's why I'm here to address to you all today and every day about certain topics that's close to my heart, even though, yes, I've been getting, you know, people giving me a hard comeback of certain things, but that's fine. You know, as I said before earlier in the piece, that everyone's entitled for their opinions, but you've got to remember, knowledge is power, word is power. What you say to others can either distract or build people up, depending how you go about it, you know, and what you say to them. And even though to this point of day I'm thinking about bringing up some other topics that has been on my mind right now, but I'll address that later on, hopefully, maybe when you see me on my channel again, if you do decide to come visit me again. Right, so in all further ado, question is for this BPD, or borderline personality disorder, is basically, what is it? So this is a short, brief overview. To my definition of it by medical journal, or even actually, shall we say, like, and then in the medical journal, or shall we say manual, of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders, 3rd edition. Okay, listed BPD as a diagnosable illness for the first time. So you've got to remember though, what it is, short and brief on that one, is borderline personality disorder, or BPD, as I've said, is a serious mental disorder or illness that is marked by really unstable moods, behaviour and relationships. That therefore sometimes with some of them they might have different characters playing around, you know, different type in their moods. They'll have different people that they play around. For example, like some of them, after doing my research, some of them might be an angry child or a happy child, you know, and all that, and then they might carry on to the next stage of progression into a teen, because sometimes, as they say, some of the stuff for the mental health disorder is all in the mindset of ours, obviously, somehow, how our brain is wired, and sometimes, you know, something doesn't feel right all the time with our mental health disorders when we know the signs and triggers and causes. The better, like I said, the sooner the better we know about it, you know, the better we can help ourselves or the person. Anyway, because some people with severe BPD have brief psychotic episodes, however, though, experts originally thought of this as basically illnesses, atypical or borderline versions of other mental disorders, okay? While mental health experts are now generally agreeing that the name borderline personality is misleading, a more accurate term, however, today, at this point of time, does not exist, which is sad, really, because we should be able to put a name to the label of certain, you know, mental health disorders or conditions if we know the signs and symptoms. But as I said before, due to the lack of understanding and awareness, and more research needs to be done, and basically more understanding based on different conditions, how it works and why it's happening around us is important. And in my case, because obviously it'd be good to know what we've got, a name for that kind of mental health disorder, name to the label, we could call it if we want it. I don't like using it as that way, but that's how I look at it. Anyway, another thing to think about on this introductory part of the what is the BPD, of the definition, is basically 3 things. Most people who suffer from it, okay, is 1, problems with regulating emotions and thoughts. So basically they'll have problems showing the emotions maybe properly, or basically they might have certain thoughts, you know, like similarly to what I've shared so far about, you know, bipolar disorder. Basically that, you know, this one basically to the T basically works in the same way. Basically the trains of thoughts up there in their mindset where it's wired basically have chain of thoughts of suicide, you know, like any other mental health disorders, many of them will lead to that point of depression to suicide based on the choices that people make, obviously. And number 2 on this is impulsive and reckless behaviour. So therefore basically they might be banging around, you know, punching walls, slamming doors, you know, just basically want to scream or, you know, do whatever that leads to self-harm. And then basically the last but not least of this part of it to bear in mind is unstable relationships with other people. Because people with BPD, I've noticed with who I've been meeting and talking to, they do find it a struggle, you know, trying to be their own person, even if they are, like I said, in a different character state. So, you know, their moods may change time and time again, like the one, like, similarly with bipolar disorder, however, but we need to bear in mind, though, how I look at it, you know, if we be able to know the warning signs quick smart, then we should be able to know what's going on. Okay, bear in mind also, though, people with this kind of disorder will have high rates of all these coexisting disorders that may come in the territory, however, like depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, and basically the like, schizophrenia, and more. And then sometimes, though, it also comes under the jurisdiction of substance abuse, eating disorders, along with self-harm, suicidal behaviours, and then suicides if they do complete it, so to speak. So therefore, basically, you know, we need to, again, know the signs quick, smart, or else basically, you know, they're gone. So enough of the do, guys. This is just an introductory part of my channel for the bipolar disorder video series, hopefully, that I'm gathering up. So if I don't end up doing all of them, like I said, I'm just going to hopefully see how far I go with this. So enough of the do, give me likes for thumbs up for support, as well as just, you know, liking this video. Basically, if you, like I said, if you want more information though, seek professional help, even though I'm no medical expert. Just to put that disclaimer back as a reminder, I'm just a typical young woman who has experienced certain conditions that I have addressed to you all so far, and I know the warning signs after working with the training field of basically, you know, just a little bit, some pieces of the heads up. So hopefully maybe you can understand where I'm coming from. So in order to do, basically, guys, follow me on Twitter and Facebook on AspieAnswersAll. Hopefully subscribe to my channel, because like I said, I'm hoping to do weekly vlogs if I can. If not, then it depends on my time limit of my series and whatnot of what I'm doing. Also, basically, you know, share these videos around, because like I said, this is really crucial, that we need to basically spread the mental illness awareness of every, you know, disorder that's out there, because obviously, as we know, basically some of these disorders that I may be addressing don't get shared enough, or have not been heard often, and it's like I said before, we need to remove that stigma and stereotyping of others about the ones that does suffer from these disorders, however. But enough further ado, guys, you know, thanks for watching and your support so far, for the ones that has been on my channel, and also for the ones that has been following me, as well as maybe, shall I say, I want to thank some of the, you know, some of the people in the group that's just piped up at me, basically, to try and help me out, basically, in any way they can. The moment of the Autism Alliance Advocate group, or something along those lines. I can't remember what the actual thing. It's a new group that they've introduced me to, which I'm hoping to, like someone said to me, I think it's Hannah Riddell, if she's watching, basically on this one, I thank you for inviting me to this group. And also, hopefully, my message to you, girl, even though I don't know you, I am admiring your videos and your courage and stuff, as well as hopefully, if we can, like I said, I think in one of my comments in the Facebook page of that group, is if we can work together as a team in that, and hopefully be a voice, as we all agree that we all need a voice somewhere to be heard and stuff, and hopefully someone will be brave enough to be that one voice to stand up from the rest, maybe, of what's going on and going down in certain parts of the country, no matter where we are in the world. So enough for the do though. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your support. You know, love what you do what you love yourself, love others around you. Until next time, I'll see you all again soon.